Steve Wilks, come to the front. Talking about you. You got a lot on your plate. What's the first thing he needs to address, Coach?
Hey, Coach. Great first year. You've had your ups and downs. You've battled. All right.
You started in the booth. Now you're on the sideline.
I mean, come on, man. It's been a full 360 spectrum with you, man, from the coaching to the bringing in the guys that we don't like, Isaiah Oliver, bringing up these guys. Look, you've done a great job and you've shown mettle with being able to adjust, right? There's a couple of coaches that could kind of take your lead if you know who I'm talking about, right? I like the fact that you've been able to come down on the sideline, kind of coach outside of what you usually like to do. And you did it for the fellas. And because of it, we've seen a whole nother side of you coaching that I don't think anybody of us or the players would have been able to see or be motivated by to get us thus far in the season. Make no mistake about it, Coach. The offense are the rock stars, but we're the managers. The defense runs the show. We handle the business, all right? And we are defensively led. And what I would love for you to do is be a little bit more creative with the rushes. I understand that these boys want to rush 4 because it's what they believe in and it's what they like. But sometimes they're just too tired to get there. And we're going to need a little bit more ingenuity with some of the simulated pressures that you've put together earlier in the season that they didn't necessarily know how to execute. I'd like to see you try to get that done a little bit more with this depth, with this round of characters and guys that you have. Because I think that they don't know what they don't know. All right. And don't let these guys kind of gang up on you and take you out of your original game plan, because that may be the wrinkle that this team needs defensively. Because the truth of the matter is that it all does lean on you. The defense is what makes this team goes. If we're going to lose this team, we're not going to lead with what the offense did. We're going to lead with what our all-pro defense did. Yeah. Also, there are some things that I think that you already know, but getting things together with these buys, technique, tackling, fundamentally tackling and closing in on the ball. These boys got to swarm. They all got to get a hat on the hat. And you understand that some of these guys they're built differently. You got some enforcers and you got some wilting flowers. You got some guys that make business decisions. But the biggest thing is that all of these guys need to get on the ground. This is playoff football, so you know that refs are going to be swallowing their whistles. They're going to be letting guys play. They're going to be letting things get a little bit chippy out there. So it's going to be all the more so to be pertinent. It's going to be pertinent for you to get on top of the tackling and the fundamentals defensively. So that's kind of where we stand right now, and that's basically what the things that have to be done.
I got to talk to you, Steve. Now I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about your game planning. I think you got the right idea for the Eagles. I'm not going to tell you what to do against the Eagles. You know, that was phenomenal. You exposed them. You did that. I didn't like your game plan against the Rams. I thought you were really soft against them. You played 2 deep safeties and zone coverage and sort of just let Puka Nacua eat you up. You won the game, but more because of the offense. Like, I don't like that strategy against the Rams, playing 2 deep and keeping everything in front of you, because that's a team that can really run the ball. If you don't play 8 in the box against the Rams, they'll run it on you every play. They also have a really good quarterback, an elite quarterback, who they don't have an explosive offense. They want to throw the 9-yard curl route anyway. And if you're going to concede that to Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp over and over and over and over and over again, you could lose. So I think you need to be a little bit more aggressive and match up with this team. Play 8 in the box, shut down the run. They are a run-first team. And match up man-to-man, because Puka Nacua is good, and Cooper Kupp is good, but I think you can cover them. I think where they're going to beat you is just finding holes in the zone. And Stafford can beat you that way too. Like, if you give him a zone, he'll dice you up. He's got the receivers to do it. So match up, be a little more aggressive. Steve. What do you think? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
Remember, he had Travarius Ward playing like 10 yards off the ball week 2, and he was just getting eaten alive in the first half. Like, don't do that. Travarius Ward is a Pro Bowl corner. You have a really, really good defense. Play a little more aggressively.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, use the guys that you have. Those are the things that, those are some of the things that kind of come through when we do lose games. It's like, man, I just kind of feel like we're strapped behind our coaching right now. Like, let the guys play.
That applies to the Lions too, man. If you play the Lions, they have 2 really good running backs. They have a real good run game. They don't have an explosive offense. Jared Goff will dink and dunk you to death. So that if you play them, it's just, they're a very similar team. You got to be aggressive and take away that run game and don't just keep everything in front of you. That works against some teams, but not against those two if you face them. Yeah,
he's definitely going to have to be more persistent in the run game because, and then, you know, a little bit of that is just not having the dogs. I'm not as confident in the signing of Sebastian, the kid from
Joseph Day. Yeah.
Joseph Day. He didn't necessarily pop as far as I'm concerned, but you know, TBD, he could be here a little bit longer so he can understand how we do things, right? We're not asking for like immediate production. I mean, in a way we are, but but you know, my biggest thing, to be real, is this time off going to be enough to get Eric Armstead back? Because I feel like that's kind of like the news that nobody wants to talk about. Like, that's the elephant in the room right now. Like, is he?
I bet he'll come back at some point, but I don't know what he's gonna look like. And remember, I think last year he had the same injury and was sat out from week 5 to week 13. So keep that in mind. All right, Steve, thank you for listening. Adam Gardner. National media is going after Kyle for resting Brock. I think it's a good decision. He could use the non-contact rest to fully heal that stinger. The national media is going after Kyle. Who? I missed that.
How do you heal a stinger?
It seems like a fairly obvious move. Matthew says, yes, the Marcellus Wallace playoff strategy. Yeah, we got you. We got you. Got you. Ricky Williams. I'm a big fan. Haven't seen Moody kick a game winner. He's automatic from 35. Anything over 45, I'll be more disappointed that the team put him in that position. And so should they. Do y'all have confidence in Moody?
I mean, kicker's got to kick, man. I mean, what else can they do if they ain't kicking? Right? So I mean,
talented. Kick it far.
He can make the kicks. They spent a real pick on this kid. Like, at some point, putting him in those positions kind of is the reason why, it kind of like proves why you made the pick, right? Because you think he can handle these positions. I don't think that kickers get the same, caveat as like young quarterbacks with pressure. Like, I kind of feel like being a kicker, pressure is kind of like a prerequisite.
Yep. Showtime 2118 says CMC hurt that ish don't count. I don't understand what he's talking about. I don't know. Sorry, Showtime. Ethan M says Wilks was just voted second best DC by the players. Good for Wilks. He had a great year. Well deserved. Giovanni Arambula says, as a 22-year-old fan, I really want to see the Niners win a Super Bowl. You were born in 2002? I was in 8th grade.
2002.
I was in high school.
I was a junior in high school.
Ugh.
God.
Matthew Sanders says, nah. If it's 4th and 2 or a 45-yard field goal, Kyle gonna run. Yeah, I mean, trust your offense.